Hi everyone, I'm JD. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm starting this series, well I've already started it, going through this book, The Art of Mental Health, drawing my way through depression and anxiety. So I've already got the first video out, which was an intro, so a bit of background behind this book and why I'm doing this series. I'll link it below if you missed it, but I'll create an actual playlist so you can catch all of this series in one place. But yeah, I'm going to go through and read a chapter once a week, and I thought every Saturday I'll do it because it's the weekend. People can reflect on the stories I share and maybe want to write in their journal some notes, or just reflect on your own journey, and maybe it will provide a challenge for you of things to work through and some steps you can take or something like that. So I hope essentially that this series is encouraging, that it lets people know they're not alone in their struggles, because even if you don't go through depression or anxiety, like I don't go through depression or anxiety anymore, but the idea is that all of these things that I went through and learned, they hold me in good stead for any future trials or any future pain, because we all have struggles in life and we're always going to feel pain throughout our lives. But these tools, I hope, can help us and help us respond well in a way that is healthy and that helps us, rather than in a way that is destructive, in a way that harms us. So yeah, I go through all my thoughts and feelings that I went through when I had depression and anxiety through my drawings and then stories. But there's also the tools and lessons and insights that I learned. So some of them are quite dark, but don't worry, there's light at the end of the tunnel. I got through it, God helped me through it, and healed from depression and anxiety, and I share that journey with you as we go through. So the first one here is called Beneath the Surface. There is more going on underneath than people see. And so essentially what I do with this is I'll read the story, and then I'll talk a bit more about the context, go a bit more in depth, and pull out some ideas and thoughts that I hope are helpful and maybe even challenging. So yeah, people sometimes tell me they want to be like me because of my peaceful nature. Whenever they tell me this, all I can think is, you have no idea about the war going on inside. On the surface, I can appear cool, calm, and collected, but underneath, I might be going through turmoil, torment, and torture. I don't want anyone to be deceived. Just because I don't show my frustration or panic or pain doesn't mean I don't feel these things. We might express ourselves differently on the outside, but we experience the same things on the inside. On the surface, it might also look like I'm simple. I don't always say much, but that doesn't mean I don't have depth or that there isn't much going on inside. It might look like I've got everything together and everything makes sense to me, but on the inside, I might be lost or drowning in a complicated mess that makes no sense. We don't always see what's going on inside people. People might be struggling and we have no idea. It might look sunny on the outside, but there could be a storm on the inside. There's more to people than what we see. I want to see below the surface. So the idea behind this one is that, yeah, my general standpoint, my foundational default position, I hope, is just one of grace, giving people grace, because we just have no idea what people are going through. You know, like if the person says something grumpy to us, or is just in a grumpy mood, or cuts you off in traffic, or road rage, or whatever, our first impulse could be to get angry back, or want to retaliate, or assume things about them. Oh, that's a nasty person, and judge their character or something. But my default position is just, you know, we have no idea what they're going through. They could be going through the worst day of their life, going through so much pain. And when you're in that kind of position, yeah, you kind of are so overwhelmed by it and so consumed by it that you don't really have a bearing on the people around you, and just you're just trying to stay afloat, and it takes so much energy for you to function that, yeah, you might come across as grumpy, you might come across as careless or thoughtless, but that's just because they're in so much pain, you know. And that's just one extreme example, but we all have moments in life where we're stressed or we're going through stuff, and yeah, we're all going to come across as a bit rude maybe, or grumpy sometimes, and yeah, just give people grace is just the idea here. And I remember this idea came from back when I was maybe 6, 7, 8. I was in the cubby house. I remember where I was, and I just had this thought, this insight that, yeah, we just don't know what's going on inside of people. And the way I came to that insight is because I was, you know, my background, I was a very quiet kid, very closed, very, I wanted to be invisible. I was very silent and hidden because I just didn't trust people with my thoughts and feelings. I thought they wouldn't understand me. I thought they would judge me. I thought they would reject me. I also didn't want to be a burden, all that kind of stuff. So I was that kind of person who put on a brave face and no matter how I felt inside, had a fake smile on, everything's fine, I'm okay, I'm strong, got it all together. But on the inside, oh, I could have been going through stress, worry, fear, pain, confusion, but I never let it out. And so I knew, when I was in the cubby that day, I was like, well, I don't show this to other people. People have no idea what's going on inside of me. So then, wow, I must have no idea what's going on in other people either. They could be smiling at me and telling me they're awesome, but that could be a complete lie. Like, they could be going through so much pain, but I would never know because they just smile and say everything's fine. And so that's why I just naturally assume. You just have no idea what people are going through. And I want to find out. I want to look below the surface. I don't want to surface smiles and fake everything's fine. I just want the deep, the vulnerability, the honesty, the real, the raw, you know? So yeah, that is that story. I hope that is kind of relatable. Maybe you can connect with this. I know some people, they're like, you know, complete open books. They wear the heart on the sleeve and what you see is what you get. But I know for me, I was not that person. I was very closed, very hidden, very silent and invisible. And maybe you're one of those people too. You're not alone. But I guess the encouraging message out of this is open up. I've learned throughout my life to open up more and more, and the longer I live, the more I open up, the more I learn to be vulnerable, the more I learn that it's okay to share, that not everyone's going to get it. Some people will judge and reject you for the way you think and feel. Some people will not know how to respond to you, especially when you're going through grief or pain or stress or whatever. But there are people who do understand. There are people out there who do understand and who will be safe people to talk to. And I hope you find those people and feel safe enough that you can share, whether it's a friend or maybe a stranger. For me, I opened up first of all to a complete stranger on the net. I wrote a blog post sharing some things, and this complete stranger reached out to me and just said, I relate so much to what you said. Here's my journey. And through that, we emailed back and forth and shared our journeys. And that was pivotal for me. Without that, I might still be totally closed and this book wouldn't exist. And, you know, so yeah, it started small. Like, it started just with talking to a complete stranger. Like, I felt safer talking to a stranger than someone I knew because, well, if they judge me, who cares? I will never see them in real life. But she never judged me. She was so lovely, and she opened the way for me to be able to talk to more people. And now look at me, like I'm sharing to you guys here, and without shame, you know. That was the thing. I was so afraid and ashamed of how I thought and felt, but no more. And I hope that you guys can get there too if you relate to my journey, that it's okay to share and find people who are safe to talk to. And if you want to reach out, leave a comment below, share your story there, or email me if you don't feel comfortable having it public. But yeah, share your story, share those things that are underneath, because it matters. You matter. Everything that you're going through, it matters, and you're allowed to share it. You are allowed to share the stuff inside of you. Okay, I hope that's encouraging. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. And yeah, next Saturday we'll go to the next drawing. Okay, bye guys.